Welcome to this week's edition of Touchscreen Entertainment News. I'm Bethany Richardi here with Phil Bourassa to speak about his new feature film. How are you doing today, Phil?
Doing well, Bethany.
Great. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So do you want to just start off by telling me the title of your film and the synopsis of it?
The title of the film is Karma. It's a psychological thriller. Basically, it's about a character who is the nicest guy in the world, completely ethical, loves his wife, family, country, everything that you could ask for. Through his business, he becomes involved with a woman named Jenna, who, very attractive, very intelligent, and very damaged. She becomes infatuated with him, and when he rejects her advances, she begins stalking him, trying to destroy his life, both personally and professionally. It takes some very, very dark twists from there. So far, something that nobody has seen the ending coming on, which thrills me to no end. But I think it's going to please audiences a lot.
So what is your background with film?
With film? I am entirely self-taught. One of the many, many indie filmmakers out there. The Guerrilla Film Handbook was under my pillow for a while. This is my first feature film. I've done smaller independent productions and things before, but certainly nothing of this scale.
So what is the distribution process? How are you working with that?
You know, normally distribution is on the back end of things. You get your film made, you shop it around, you enter it in festivals and try desperately to get it picked up. We're kind of doing this backwards. We're because of some of the connections of some of the cast to an executive producer who has great connections as well. We already have a tentative arrangement for distribution with a company who, because of legal reasons, I cannot mention their name right now, but things are pretty well solid.
So I understand that you'll be filming a lot of this in Michigan, right?
Actually, the whole thing is going to be filmed in Michigan. I'm filming in Alpena, in Midland, and the Metro Detroit area.
Is there any specific reasons why you chose that area?
You know, I love Michigan to begin with. I mean, I'm born and raised here. I think one of the things that really makes a film effective, especially when you have something of a dark theme, is when you set it against a very beautiful background. Alpena has some of the most gorgeous scenery around. I figured, why not take advantage of that?
So when will filming begin?
Filming is scheduled to begin July of this year, 2016.
It's coming up.
It is. I actually pushed it out to July because you've been in Michigan long enough to understand that mosquito and black fly season during early spring is a little tough. I figured it would be a nice break for the actors not to be looking like they're signaling to steal third.
So staying on the topic of Michigan, do you have any Michigan talent in this film?
We do. We've spoken with Lila Lazarus, who is a Detroit area broadcaster. Also Marty Buffalini, who's been on WWJ for years.
He was also featured in the Clint Eastwood film Gran Torino, where you've got Nikki Fioretti, who's a great Michigan actress, Joe DeFilippi, who's actually a world record holder brick breaker, and John D. Green, who was in Spirit of Mumbai.
I'm trying to use as much Michigan talent as I can. There really is a lot here available. I figure why not make the best of it.
And I understand Brian Ames will be your male lead, correct?
Correct. Brian is, he's an amazing talent. He's a very handsome man, and I think that's why he was cast in a lot of the roles that he is. He's on MTV's Awkward. He's done, Law and Order, Grey's Anatomy. He's had several roles that really, I think, try to feature him for his looks. But the reality is, an incredibly gifted actor. He did a piece called Elegy for a Revolutionary, and it's based on a true story of two guys who got involved with the anti-apartheid movement in South Africa. You know, every time I send somebody the link, I watch the film again, and it gets better every time I see him. He's really, really a very gifted actor.
We must confine ourselves to the facts.
What are the facts, Sir Son?
A security guard was killed at the Durban railway station last night. According to our reports, there were 2 explosions, several minutes apart. The guard must have heard the first explosion and got down to investigate when he took the full force of the second.
Hunter, you said no need to worry.
It's called acceptable losses, Donald.
Well, it's not acceptable to me.
Casualties are inevitable, Donald. Look, I'm sorry, but if his death is necessary for the success of our operation, then it's justified.
Justified?
Yes. We're part of a bigger picture here, man. It's the code, Donald. Okay? It's not about your personal principles.
Well, how about number 6, Bud? Number 6 is a big one.
What are you talking about, number 6?
Thou shalt not kill.
So I take it you're looking forward to working with him.
Very much so. Genuinely nice guy, very down to earth, really funny guy. In a lot of ways, very similar to the character Greg that he's playing in the film. Part of Greg's persona is that he's very handsome, but doesn't really see himself that way. So it's kind of foreign to him why people respond to him the way they do.
Sounds like a perfect match.
I think it was really a stroke of good luck when he showed interest in the film.
That's great. So do you want to tell me a little bit more about the other cast members?
Our female lead, Jenna, is Madeline Wade. Also used to go by the name Madeline Lindley before she married. Really beautiful girl, very talented. Jenna was a tough role to cast because we needed somebody who would instantly capture the audience when she came on screen. But at the same time, she had to, it wasn't just beauty. Jenna's a very raw character, very, very attractive, but very unrefined. So we had to have somebody who could walk into that. And you've got to have somebody who has serious enough acting chops that they can go from playing this, likable kind of ditzy character to playing pretty much a psychopath and do it believably.
So when is this film, when are the hopes to have it done?
We're hoping to have it wrapped by the end of September and start post-production at that point. And we're hopefully looking to release in 2017.
That sounds great. Is there anything else that you'd like to mention about your first new feature film?
I have to say I'm really excited about working with all of the cast. Odessa Sykes was one of the first ones to respond for the casting call on IMDb. And initially she was applying for a part that was pretty minimal. I've always loved her work. She's done roles in Now You See Me, A Race Against Time. Really, I think a very underrated actress, very underutilized. So when she came on board, I thought, yeah, we've got to beef this up a little bit. She was actually so happy with the script. She called me up and said, I really like this, I'm really excited. I have a partner I've worked with off and on for years. Would you mind if I showed him the script? And I said, no, I insist that you show him the script. And she sent it to Sultan Uddin, who was involved with the Mortal Kombat films. Again, great actor, great martial artist, and because of his connections and what he's brought to it, he is now our executive producer, and Odessa is co-producing with me.
That's so great. It seems like everything's really falling in place.
I really am just blown away by this. It was funny, I came up with the idea for the storyline probably about May this year. It wouldn't leave me alone. I sat down and started writing at the end of June, and I finished it on August 10th. It's really taken on a life of its own. I'm just amazed by the whole thing.
So this being your first feature film, do you think you'll do something like this again in the future?
I have hopes to. Actually, Sultan and Odessa have already started looking at a couple of my other projects, and they're very excited about those. So hopefully that's going to get to go somewhere. I'm hoping that maybe over the next couple of films I'll get to actually start directing instead of just writing and producing. The director for this film is going to be Hawthorne James. I'm not sure if you familiar with the name. He's one of those faces that most people will never forget, and a name that not everybody associates with it. But he's been writing and directing and producing for the last several years in addition to his acting. Great guy, very cut and dried. If you're doing a good job, he's going to tell you. If you're doing a bad job, he's going to tell you.
You need that.
But yeah, absolutely. We thought it would make investors a little more secure to have a more experienced hand on the tiller. Because for a production this size, there's just no replacing that kind of experience.
Is there anyone else in the production crew that is sticking out to you that you might want to mention?
Terry Harold is actually set to score the film, and he's done several other films in the past and documentaries and things. He's actually an instructor at Oakland University here in Michigan. You know, so many people have just said, well, you can scrimp on that, you know, you can get that done less costly. There's no substitution for using a real orchestra in your film. You can take all of the electronic instruments and all of the sampled instruments that you want to, and it's never going to come out the same, especially when you play it on a big system. So I'm really thrilled to have Terry involved with it.
And I guess it's partly because I'm a musician, but I'm really excited that we've got Samantha Johnson working on the film. She's not only taking a role in the film, but she's also recording a song for the soundtrack. So I'm really excited to see what she does with this.
Sounds like it's going to be a great movie.
I'm hopeful.
Again, this is Touchscreen Entertainment News. I'm Bethany Ricciardi here with Phil Bourassa, speaking about his new feature film set to be out in 2017. We wish you the best of luck.
Thanks, Bethany.
You're very welcome.